Level 1. The apartment.
You close on a one-bedroom condo in a city that feels too expensive for what you earn.
The price is $342,000. You put down $68,400, which is everything you saved over 4 years, plus $12,000 your parents gave you that they called a loan, but you both know isn't. The mortgage payment is $1,847 a month. Property tax adds $285. HOA fees are $340. Insurance is $92. You do the math, standing in the empty living room on the day you get the keys. $2,564 leaves your account every month before you buy food or pay for anything else. The apartment has 710 square feet. You measure twice because it feels smaller than the listing claimed. The kitchen counter is 31 inches long. You can touch both walls of the bedroom if you stand in the center and extend your arms. You buy furniture from 3 different stores over 2 months, spreading the purchases across paychecks. A couch on a Tuesday, a bed frame on a Saturday. A table you assemble yourself because the $89 delivery fee seems insane. You paint one wall blue because the lease allows minor modifications, and you want to feel like you decided something about this space. 6 weeks after moving in, the dishwasher breaks. The HOA says it's your responsibility. The repair costs $340, exactly 1 month's HOA fee. You pay it. The apartment is yours in the sense that you cannot leave without selling it, and you are trapped by ownership in a way renting never accomplished. Level 2. The starter house. 3 years later, you sell the condo for $366,000. After the mortgage payoff and closing costs, you walk away with $91,200. You buy a house in a suburb, 18 miles from where you work. The house costs $535,000. You put down $107,000. The new mortgage is $2,890 a month. Property tax is $654. Insurance is $198. You now pay $3,742 before utilities, maintenance, or the reality that houses break in ways apartments never did. The house has 3 bedrooms. You use one as an office. One stays empty. You tell people it's a guest room, but no one visits. The yard is 0.17 acres. You buy a lawnmower for $340 and mow it yourself every Sunday from April through October. In November, the furnace makes a sound you've never heard before. The repair costs $1,850. In February, a pipe freezes. The plumber charges $920. In June, you pay $2,400 to have the exterior painted, because the HOA sent a letter saying the trim color violated community standards you didn't know existed. You meet your neighbors at a block party. They talk about interest rates and refinancing and property values, like they're discussing the weather. You nod and learn the language. By year 2, you stop thinking about the mortgage payment. It's just gone. Same day every month, automatic and invisible. The house appreciates $43,000 in 24 months. You know this because you check Zillow every few weeks, even though you have no intention of selling. Level 3. The family house. You get married. 4 months later, you sell the starter house for $597,000. Your equity is $183,400. You buy a house in a better school district, even though you don't have children yet. The house costs $925,000. You put down $185,000. Your spouse contributes $78,000 from the sale of their condo. The combined mortgage is $4,680 a month. Property tax is $1,156. Insurance is $347. The payment is $6,183, and you now have 2 incomes, so it feels manageable until it doesn't. The house has 4 bedrooms and a backyard with a fence and a 2-car garage you fill with things you buy because you have space to put them. You hire a landscaping service at $240 a month because neither of you has time to maintain half an acre. You replace the HVAC system for $8,900 in year 1. You renovate the kitchen for $47,000 in year 2 because the counters are laminate and the cabinets are oak, and everyone who visits notices. A child is born, then another. The house becomes the container for a life you're building. You paint the bedrooms. You install shelves. You replace light fixtures and cabinet hardware and the faucet in the upstairs bathroom. Every improvement costs more than you estimated. You stop tracking after a while because the house is worth it. That's what you tell yourself. The market goes up. A house is appraised at $1,120,000 when you refinance to a lower rate. Your equity is $358,000. It exists only on paper, but it changes how you think about money. You have wealth now. It's locked inside the walls. Level 4. The investment property. Someone at work mentions rental properties during lunch. You listen. 3 weeks later, you're looking at duplexes in a neighborhood you would never live in. You buy one for $445,000. You put down $89,000, which you pull from a home equity line of credit against the family house. The mortgage on the duplex is $2,270. You rent both units for $1,650 each. The cash flow is $1,030 a month before maintenance, vacancy, property management. You hire a property management company that takes 8% of collected rent. The actual cash flow is $774. In month 2, a tenant reports a leak. The repair costs $1,340. In month 7, the other tenant moves out, and the unit sits empty for 53 days. You lose $2,755 in rent. You repaint the unit and replace the carpet for $3,100. A new tenant moves in. The property breaks even the first year. You read articles about building wealth through real estate. The articles make it sound simple. You run the numbers again. The tenants pay down $680 of principal every month. The property appreciates at 4% annually, which adds $1,483 a month in equity you cannot spend. The tax benefits reduce your effective costs by $340 a month. On paper, you're making money. In practice, you're managing problems from 14 miles away and wondering if this is what investment is supposed to feel like. By year 3, the duplex is worth $492,000. Your equity is $139,400. You consider selling, but the capital gains tax makes you hesitate. You keep it. The tenants keep paying. The math works if you don't look too closely at the hours you spend coordinating repairs. Level 5. The portfolio. You own 3 properties now. The family house, worth $1,340,000. The duplex, worth $518,000. A second rental, a single-family house you bought for $380,000. That's now worth $416,000. Your total equity across all 3 is $647,000. The combined mortgage payments are $8,430 a month. Rental income covers $5,460 of that. You pay $2,970 out of pocket, plus all the costs the spreadsheets don't capture. A property manager calls about a broken water heater. You approve the $1,650 repair while sitting in a meeting about quarterly targets. Another property manager emails about a tenant complaint. You respond during your daughter's soccer game. The properties require attention in fragments, small emergencies that interrupt everything else. You refinance the family house again and pull out $120,000 in equity. You use it to buy a 4th property, a triplex, listed at $695,000. You offer $670,000. They accept. Your total real estate holdings are worth $2,944,000. Your total debt is $2,103,000. Your equity is $841,000. The numbers are abstract. You never see $841,000. It's distributed across 4 buildings and 3 neighborhoods you interact with only when something breaks. The portfolio generates $3,240 a month in net rental income after all expenses. You pay $4,970 a month out of pocket to carry everything. The properties appreciate $9,810 a month in aggregate. The tenants pay down $2,650 in principal. The tax deductions save you $1,890 a month. You're making $8,580 a month on paper, You're spending $4,970 a month in cash. The math works because you believe in appreciation. The market has always gone up. You check the values every month. They keep rising. Level 6. The upgrade. You sell the family house for $1,520,000. Your equity after payoff and costs is $687,000. You buy a house for $1,950,000 in a neighborhood where the school test scores are higher and the lots are measured in acres, not fractions. You put down $390,000. The mortgage is $9,340 a month. Property tax is $2,438. Insurance is $612. The monthly cost is $12,390 before you pay for the lawn service, the pool maintenance, the security system, the utilities that heat and cool 4,200 square feet. The house has 6 bedrooms. You use 4. The kitchen has 2 dishwashers and a refrigerator that cost $8,900. The master bathroom has heated floors. You did not know heated floors were something you wanted until the realtor mentioned them. Now you cannot imagine living without them. The neighbors drive cars that cost what your first house cost. You buy a car that fits. The garage holds 3 vehicles. You fill it. The house becomes the center of a life that requires more money to maintain than you ever thought you would spend. You host parties. You renovate the basement into a media room for $68,000. You install smart home systems that control lights and temperature and security from your phone. Every upgrade seems reasonable in isolation. Together, they represent a commitment to a lifestyle that depends on income continuing at levels you hope are sustainable, but cannot guarantee. The house appreciates $11,000 a month. Your equity grows while you sleep. The number on the screen makes the monthly payment feel like an investment rather than an expense. You're not spending $12,390 a month. You're building $11,000 a month in wealth. That's how you think about it now. Level 7. The Empire. You own 9 properties. The primary residence worth $2,190,000. 8 rentals worth a combined $4,760,000. Total portfolio value is $6,950,000. Total debt is $4,320,000. Your equity is $2,630,000. The rental income is $31,400 a month. The expenses are $28,900. You net $2,500 in monthly cash flow across 8 properties. You employ 2 property management companies. You have a bookkeeper who tracks everything in spreadsheets you review quarterly. You have a CPA who structures entities and depreciation schedules and 1,031 exchanges. You defer capital gains by rolling proceeds into larger properties. You never sell. You only exchange. The equity grows. The debt grows. The distance between you and the properties grows. You have not been inside 6 of the 8 rentals in over a year. You see them as numbers on a balance sheet. Unit 2B needs a new roof. You approve $14,000 without visiting. The fourplex has a vacancy. You trust the property manager to fill it. Your time is worth more than the drive across town to inspect a property generating $1,900 a month. You meet with a commercial broker about an apartment building. 12 units listed at $2,400,000. You run the numbers. The cap rate is 5.8%. You can leverage at 75% loan to value. You need $600,000 down. You have it in equity. You pull it from 3 properties through refinancing. You close on the apartment building. Your portfolio is now worth $9,350,000. Your equity is $3,080,000. Your monthly debt service is $47,600. Your rental income is $53,200. You net $5,600 after all expenses. The properties appreciate $31,200 a month in aggregate. You're accumulating $36,800 a month in wealth. The number is large enough that you've stopped converting it to things you could buy. It exists as its own category. The wealth is real estate. The real estate is wealth. They're the same thing now. Level 8. The position. You cannot stop. The equity demands deployment. Money sitting in a property doing nothing but appreciating at 4% annually is money wasting its potential. You find a 24-unit apartment complex listed at $5,800,000. You form an LLC with two partners. You each contribute $580,000. You pull your share from a cash-out refinance on the primary residence and 3 rental properties. The debt increases. The equity reshuffles. You own percentages of entities that own buildings. You receive monthly reports showing income, expenses, net operating income, debt service coverage ratios. You attend quarterly meetings where decisions are made about capital improvements and rental increases, and whether to refinance or hold. Your personal residence is worth $2,450,000. You owe $1,680,000. Your share of the investment properties totals $8,200,000 in value. Your share of the debt is $5,340,000. Your net worth from real estate alone is $3,630,000. You have never held $3,630,000. It exists in structures and land and leases signed by people you have never met. The monthly cash flow from everything is $8,900 after all expenses and debt service. The appreciation across the portfolio is $54,600 a month. The tenants pay down $18,200 in principal. You accumulate $81,700 every month without working. You still work. The income from employment pays for the life required by someone who owns $10,650,000 in real estate. The house, the cars, the schools, the vacations, the appearance of someone who has built something. You attend a real estate conference in Phoenix. You meet people who own $50 million in property. They describe the challenges of scale. You listen and realize you are still early in a progression that has no endpoint. Somewhere in a city you have never been, a tenant reports a maintenance issue. A property manager dispatches a contractor. The repair costs $840. You never hear about it. The system runs without you. Tomorrow, you will review a 32-unit deal. The broker says it's priced right. You will run the numbers and probably close. The market is open. The properties appreciate. The only question is what you acquire next.